So, Chuck, the Mighty Morphin Water Stealers are back.
Yeah, I was hoping they would combine together for a big Boba Fett robot.
Like a Boba Ultron?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been kind of
Voltron.
cool. Voltron. That's the one I meant. Yeah, that's
not
the one.
Ultron.
Yeah,
he was created by Tony Stark.
A Boba Voltron. Yeah, that would have been cool. But instead, you know what? We got a Rancor.
There's so many me's, Tony. We all have Vespas.
Hello and welcome to the Nerd Card. I'm Phil.
I'm Chuck.
And today we're wrapping up the Book of the Bobalorian.
Yes, the Book of Mando Fett.
Yes, exactly. Although I will say in this episode, we finally do see a little bit more of the Boba, being the Boba.
Yeah, we finally got actual Boba Fett for the last 35 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And that was it.
Yeah, the cold, ruthless Boba Fett that he should have been.
Yeah, the entire time. He really should have been that the entire time.
I mean, I wish he would have been. They're telling their story, right?
Sure.
So I guess we have a kindler, gentler Boba Fett who's, older now, as Cad Bane tells him.
You're going soft in your old age.
We all do.
You're going soft in your old age.
We all do.
Exactly. And that was, you know what, I think maybe the one failure of this episode is Cad Bane finally comes to live action.
For 2 episodes.
And he's gone.
I knew you were a killer.
You could have him in flashbacks in Ahsoka or even Obi-Wan, frankly.
Oh, sure. You absolutely could.
Cad Bane had his run-ins with Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah.
And with Ahsoka Tano, as we talked about in the last episode.
Yeah.
So you could have more Cad Bane. And honestly, at this point, Cad Bane's a fairly old dude. He's probably in his 70s.
Well, and he's older than his species should be, too. Yeah. I mean, they only lived to a certain age. Cad Bane lived far beyond that.
So
yeah, it's he had to go at some point, and if anybody's going to kill him,
I mean, at least it's Boba Fett.
It should be Boba. I mean, they had such a history.
Sure.
Cad Bane trained Boba to be a bounty hunter. It just makes sense.
You don't want to do this.
Kill him. Oh, yes, I do.
I warned you.
All right, that's it. Mike's over.
No, it ain't. You got a problem with Boba. You got a problem with me.
Yeah, it
does. It really does.
It just, I really like the character Cad Bane.
Me too.
And we finally get him in live action, and he's there for 2 episodes, and then he dies.
I
mean, it wasn't bad in the story. It wasn't bad the way it was done. It's just, I didn't want Cad Bane to die. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just mourning, frankly.
But he died. He got killed by Boba Fett, so that's okay.
Yeah, in a good battle. We actually see Boba be
the daimyo
proficient in battle.
We see Boba in by extension, because he gave the orders to Fennec Shand. We see them do what you would expect that they would have done the whole time. Right?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, you oppose me, well then you die.
Yeah.
I'm
just go right after him.
I'm puzzled why it took so long to get there.
Sure.
You know, I mean, it's really like they took this series as an opportunity to just rev you up for the Mandalorian. You know,
And they did.
And they did, and it was great. The episodes of The Mandalorian are the highest rated in the series.
They're
You
the
look at
best
IMDb,
ones.
They're 9.4 and 9.5 or something like that.
Yeah, it's because they're the best ones.
Well, they are the best ones,
Yeah.
but they're the best ones in terms of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But in the terms of Book of Boba Fett, they're not, because it's not Boba Fett.
Yeah, well, heck, those 2 episodes in question, Boba Fett had 0 lines in them. He didn't even appear in one.
Yeah, I know.
But, you know, I mean, we're talking about the whole of the series, but really this episode does exactly what we said we didn't want it to do, which was wrap up the entire conflict in a rush. Yeah.
There's no way you wrap this up in this next episode.
Unless-
Unless it's rushed.
And, okay, so it gave us a really clear perspective of what each character, you know, brought to the series. In my opinion, the Mighty Morphin Water Stealers are crap. They continue to be crap,
but we did see Boba Fett ride a Rancor.
But we did see Boba Fett ride a Rancor, which we wanted, of course.
That was dope. Okay.
That was amazing.
That was awesome.
That was great.
I love that. I didn't like the impersonation of King Kong. I thought that was ridiculous.
No, yeah,
and unnecessary.
That was silly.
And you know, I did like Grogu showing that he learned some proficiencies in the Force from Luke in the short time that he was there.
More than proficiencies, he took down a Rancor.
Did not enjoy nappy time afterwards, though. I thought that was kind of cheesy and unnecessary. But
I thought it was cute. But that's
why it's in there, because it's cutesy with Grogu and the baby and money, and people will sell T-shirts of Grogu napping with his buddy the Rancor.
Well,
I mean, that's kind of crap's going to happen. Actually,
I
should make one of those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Actually, now that I'm thinking, I can picture it in my head. You know,
that's the money. Well, you said it. It's the money train. You know, Grogu's the money train.
And that's what I think disheartens me, and why I get unhappy with some of the stuff in this series. Because frankly, Dan, I liked the series.
I did too.
I liked every episode.
Yeah.
I could have done without the Mighty Morphin Water Stealers.
Yes.
But I liked every episode. Every episode was good. The 2 episodes that featured the Mandalorian storyline were the best by far.
Yeah.
But it feels like, especially when you throw in Ahsoka and you throw in Luke, it feels like some of this was just done simply for marketing.
My trick's gonna work on me. Only money.
Oh, for sure.
I wish that they wouldn't do. Yes, did it advance the story? Well, at least of the Mandalorian, it did.
Yeah, the Mandalorian, but not of Boba Fett.
And that's the problem, right?
And
we've talked about it 100 times. We don't need to spend hours and hours on it.
No.
But it bears repeating again that if you take out the flashbacks and you take out the episodes advancing Mando's story, you have 3 episodes of Boba Fett material.
Maybe.
In this whole thing.
Maybe 3.
And it's just, I don't know, after watching this whole thing, okay, I don't know, there's so many missed opportunities, I feel like. Like we talked about.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Why not at the end of this, after they dispatch the Pykes, right? You know, that's from a snatch from the movie Snatch, but that's what I'm going to say. After they dispatch the Pykes, why not have Kira come in as the head of Crimson Dawn?
Seriously.
That runs everything, or whatever she calls it now, because she's in charge. Why not have her come in and be like, you know, why did you have to do that?
Or this isn't the way I thought this would go.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Have her come and be the cool badass that Emilia Clarke is.
Yeah.
And have her come in and do that. It could be 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be.
It can be less than 5 minutes. It can be one line.
It could be a shot right at the end.
That's it. That's all it takes.
And it sets up season 2.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why you don't do something like that. Maybe they tried and couldn't do it. Maybe she didn't have availability in her schedule. I don't know.
Entirely possible.
You know,
it is.
But I gotta wonder also, after seeing the finished product, of why they told the story in the way they did for this season.
Sure.
It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know
Well, you did the majority of it through flashbacks. You brought in awesome characters.
Oh, there were so many cool characters in this show
that can carry a show on their own. Take away Ahsoka, take away Luke, take away Grogu, take away Mando.
Fennec Shand and Cad Bane.
And Krrsantan.
Those are all awesome characters. You could have just had those just Book of Boba Fett. I don't need to see Luke and Grogu in this. I didn't need to see Mando in this. I didn't need to see Ahsoka
not
in
at all.
this.
And not that we're bitching that we did,
not that
because
I'm not happy. Those were great episodes.
They were great episodes, but you can tell a story with those guys and have it be awesome.
Yeah, because
awesome.
Reportedly, I hear rumor that you might get an announcement on May 4th about an Underworld series in development that Lucas was doing previously.
Entirely possible.
Okay, and you could tie this into that show.
Sure.
Which they should do regardless, right? But I don't know why you wouldn't spend more time setting up that world with this show than the established Mando show.
Yeah. It makes a lot more sense to do it that way. I agree. And, maybe there's a grand plan that we just can't see.
Sure.
But
Favreau and Filoni are brilliant.
I will say the one thing that we got that was really exciting today was we got an announcement of the Obi-Wan series.
We did.
And that's coming May 25th. So it's coming really, really quick. And an interesting part of that is that Krrsantan has a scar that we see pretty prominently throughout the Book of Boba Fett that was given to him by Obi-Wan.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that these series are all attached together.
I hope so.
And we're going to see Krrsantan and Obi-Wan.
I hope so. Obi-Wan has so much possibility. We already know we're going to see Hayden Christensen as Luke, Anakin, or Darth Vader, or both. Right. I'm hoping we get to see
That'd
him.
Be cool.
Kind of as Anakin before all the Vader outfit, but I don't know how you would do that, seeing as how they ended Revenge of the Sith.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power! Don't try it!
I don't know how you would actually do that.
I hate to say this because I'm going to say it, and it's going to be one of our biggest critiques of the Book of Boba Fett was that the majority of it happened in flashback. But it's entirely possible that they're bringing back Hayden Christensen to portray Anakin, not Darth Vader.
It's probable that they're going to have him as Anakin and have Ahsoka, and he better call her Snips.
He better. He better call her Snips.
Rex, load him up. Let's go, Snips.
He better.
It's entirely possible because, when you watch the Clone Wars cartoon, you see tons and tons and episodes of Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Going around the galaxy doing Jedi stuff.
Tons of them.
And I would love to see flashbacks to that in real time, in real life.
For sure. And with Ahsoka in there, Rosario Dawson playing the role, it'd be great.
It'd be outstanding, so they could do that. You can also, you can bring Darth Maul in.
Yeah.
Right? Because Obi-Wan does kill Darth Maul on Tatooine.
Yep.
In the cartoon. So if this
it's in that time frame,
right, and this takes place presumably before that, or ending with that, or right around that time.
Sure.
Because when he does that in the Clone Wars, he looks more like the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan.
Well, he's an older version.
Right. He's not the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan. So you could have Darth Maul in that show.
There's a lot of possibility for that show, but you know what? We don't have to wait long for it.
No, May 25th, and we'll be covering it.
Yeah, we're going to be covering that one.
Yeah.
We're very, very excited about that, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
But to get back to Book of Boba Fett, what I was saying with what we see with each character bringing to the Book of Boba Fett, a real highlight of that was kind of, almost glossed over was Krrsantan.
Yeah.
And we see how much of a badass Krrsantan is. He was, so every other group was a group that took on one faction of this uprising. Not Krrsantan. He was by himself and whooped wholesale ass.
In Wookiee, that means I'm the Brute Squad.
Right.
Which is what he was.
100%.
You know, I mean, Chewie he whooped Chewie's ass. I'm sorry. I love Chewie, but Krrsantan is a bad mofo.
I don't think you're wrong. I think you're absolutely right.
It was cool to see him and what he did. And again, that's when we go back. You could have carried the show with just those guest stars that pertain to Boba Fett.
You really could have. Especially Cad Bane. All you have to do,
Cad Bane is
bring
legendary.
Cad Bane in and have them be adversaries. It's not hard. Yeah. It's well established. And
they don't like each other.
They don't like each other. They work together a lot. They don't like each other. You can have an entire series just on those two.
Yeah, and you can. And
it's frustrating.
It is frustrating. I'm hoping that because I really think again that this is going to lead right into Mando 3, which obviously, with Mando flying off in his Anakin fighter, with
his Grogu
giving him
bubble
in the Grogu pod, giving him the tap. if I want to go Ricky Bobby.
All right, but this is the last time.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, so which we knew that was going to happen. The minute we saw the ship and there was no astromech pod, you're like, okay, that's for Grogu.
That's a Grogu pod.
Pod. Yeah. And so it's leading into season 3. I suspect we're going to see Boba in Fennec Shand and Mando.
I can't imagine we wouldn't. Yeah.
And so if they're following the MCU format, which it appears that they are, I mean, Disney's that way. That's kind of how they roll.
Well, they made a lot of money that way.
Well, and it makes sense. It works, right? You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think, so if they're doing that, then maybe in a couple seasons of other shows, this becomes clear of why they did this way, and it all makes sense.
Sure.
I'm hoping.
I hope so, too, because, frankly, what we've got out of the Book of Boba Fett was a half-told Boba Fett story, but an amazing Star Wars story.
Yeah, true. That's a very good way to put it.
I think that wraps up the entire season, quite frankly. It really just, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I want to be told more of a Boba Fett story, but I got a great Star Wars story, and I really enjoyed the ride. I know we've crapped on it like crazy, but I did.
It's out of
enjoy.
love. It's tough love.
Yeah, it's tough love.
I mean, I love the show.
I did too. I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah, me too.
I think it was great. Yeah.
Again, we're not going to sit here and just say stuff to be, oh, it was great. Yeah. We're going to give you our honest reaction, opinion to it, and that's just what we feel. I'm
sure.
I'm hoping that this is just our first experience of Boba in his own show, and more Boba, and he continues to grow in the second season is even more Boba, because I like the character.
Sure.
I mean, kindler, gentler notwithstanding, he's still Boba Fett.
He's still Boba.
He's still, when he fights, when him and Mando were back-to-back fighting, that was badass.
How cool was that?
That's great. So,
how cool was that?
Hopefully more good things to come.
Certainly hope so. That's going to wrap it up on the Book of Boba Fett. Join us for Obi-Wan. We're going to be doing the Obi-Wan series.
We will.
And in the meantime, make sure you check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that good stuff. We are out there. Share us with all your nerd friends so they can join in the party as well. And with that, we will say,
What's on your nerd card?